I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Dimes, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Dripping all sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just want.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, tag 32! Tag 32! Hey, tag 50 left!
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hey, go here!
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. first down. Stafford here. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This looks like a free play for Stafford. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. They knew they had the free play after the penalty. They get great yardage, so they can decline that penalty.
And one of the things we've seen develop more and more in recent years are teams seeing that penalty occur and still taking the big shot downfield and hoping to gain the yardage as we just saw there. They practice it, they work on it, and this time they're successful.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
We're rolling, we're rolling. Jack 53.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. He'll get it up the middle. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at this situation, if you're at the 1, the 2, maybe you go for it. From here, you kick it.
I agree. I think you have to get points in this situation. 4th down, I don't chance it at all. I put the points on the board and go back and regroup.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, Cook. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Stafford. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Frank Clark in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a third and 8 more.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out.
Here we go. 21.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Breaks through the contact. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. In the backfield to pass protect, and sometime try to protect the QB, you hold.
And the key word, as you noted, protect, right? Sometimes you get out of position, get out of whack. It's just quarterback protect mode, and he got nailed for the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Cook following the penalty. Oh, spinning away. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one good for 10 yards. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And out now come the Vikings. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try to force something?
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Watch it now, Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, a 22. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give. This is Cook. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Left side, Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On first down, it's Stafford. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Hey, tag 32, tag 32.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 9 now from the 21. To throw on second down is Stafford. Steps away to his left. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9.
Like 7. Got tag 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is taken at the 18. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. On second down, Kamara. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Stafford. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
21.
From the gun, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Fields. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
Stay 50, stay 50.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Dancing away at the 35. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. Only a couple there, so he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Eluding the pressure right, and that is incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allow the defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Saints on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
0. 22. 0.
Operating from the gun. Stafford looking long for Thomas. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep blow with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Cook. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now a run with Cook. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him for a loss of 6. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 16.
Over!
He'll drop to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Here we go.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Omaha, ready to move. Hey, alert it, tag 53. 20 high,
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
That's good. Tag 53. Here we go.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. A give. This is Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Saints on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gone!
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Trying the left side with Kamara. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Saints, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the show.